it's an option. So you have these options on timing of eating. The big thing is if you are going to delay when you eat, you have to understand you have to do like we do in the hospital. Put yourself on an IV. What is in the hospital? Put you NPO with an IV. Well, the IV is salt water. When you go off of sugar, you lose water and salt. That's why your blood pressure goes down. Most of the time, you reverse your blood pressure problem. And so I need to give you a salty water. So I drink basically a little bit of salt in water so that I have some salt so I don't get lightheaded and dizzy. So that's another thing to kind of learn.
What's a little bit of salt?
So a simple thing I do is, and this comes from a couple different places, but everyone's a little different as to how much salt they like. But in general, say you have a quart, which is essentially a liter. I put a half a teaspoon of sodium and a half a teaspoon of potassium. And you can get salt, Himalayan pink sea salt, and then you can get potassium as salt substitute. Salt substitute is potassium chloride. And frankly, just try that, see how that tastes to you. If that tastes good, great. If it's too salty, back it off. If it's not enough, you can put in more. Usually, most people on a low-carb diet, when they start going on it, they eat way too many, they get hidden carbs, they get hidden protein, they don't get enough fat, they don't drink enough, and then they don't salt enough. So that's why I think this is a very difficult diet to learn, ultimately, but if you just take it slow and steady, go slow carb, low carb, and then try to do some time eating, it works very, very well. You just have to understand that when you're on this, salt is actually a good white crystal powder, and sugar is the bad white crystal powder. And then if you want to just get down this road, number one, just start eating real food. And just start adding butter with everything. I call it ABD. Always be drizzling, always be dipping. So I'm carrying fat with me in case food breaks out. So you can have these little packets. I have some free ones in the back if you want to take one. So these little olive oil packets, it's hard to put butter in your pocket. It just doesn't do that. Coconut oil is good. It's solid at room temperature, but you put it in your pocket, it melts. So just understand they'll not give you a lot of oil at restaurants. You have to bring your own. They'll make it low fat, but they won't make it high fat. So to me, I always like to have some fat with it. But it's very easy to melt butter, and you can dip anything in it. So always be, I call it ABD, always be drizzling, always be dipping. A simple thing is just melt butter, and whatever you do or you're going to eat, just dip it in butter before you eat it, and everything will be high fat. The big three to avoid is the GPSs, grains, potatoes, and sugar. Those are things that we love, and those are the things that spike our blood sugar the most. And we're all addicted to it, especially if you like wheat. Wheat is an opiate, essentially. We all love it. So those are the things that we try to stay away from. Try to not eat for the first 6 hours of the day. It turns out that lunch and breakfast work great. And then maybe now and then slide into just only one meal a day. And then there's a whole thoughts on that we overeat. Those of us, again, that have gray hair remember the Alka-Seltzer commercial about, I can't believe I ate the whole thing. Because if you eat till you're full, you will overeat. You'll just like, how did I do that? Whereas if you can get yourself to know, and there's a very good prayer in Okinawa where women live the longest, where you just say, and today I'll only eat 8 out of 10 on my meal. And so you eat till you're about 80% full, and then just stop and wait. If you give yourself 10 minutes, you will be full, and it works well, and you cut out a ton of calories, you cut out a lot of spiking of insulin. And then my biggest thing, and that's why we do these meetings, is keep learning and have fun. I mean, this food is unbelievably good, and I think you should learn about it. That's why I like these meetups. And then think about coming to Sicily with us. Mr. Levin is in the back, if you can raise your hand. So we're taking a group to Sicily in September. You're more than welcome to join us. It is a place that is in southern Italy, and what we'll do is it's a lifestyle immersion course. And again, it's if you want to do this. But I've had people who have asked me before to do it. And so I'll be going. You should hear Miss Levin talk. She sounds like you're in Italy already. But she's helped me to bring patients before. Let me show you her website. And she has the top keto chef who's brought patients here. Maybe if you could mention while I do this, could you mention Maria Emmerich?
Sure.
Because she's the author of a lot of the cookbooks in the back.